What is up, guys?
Hey, how's it going?
Today we're going to be doing an album review, but I guess kind of it's somewhat of a response to John from My Music Corner. If you guys have seen in the previous week, John did come on to the channel here and we talked a little bit of Judas Priest, but I did see on his channel that he was talking about Twisted Sister, and one of the videos was on this album right here, what we're going to talk about, Love is for Suckers. And I disagreed with John and John actually because his buddy John was on there as well. But for the most part, I disagree with a lot of what they said. So I thought, you know what? I kind of wanted to do an album review of this anyway, and might as well just do it now and have it somewhat of a response. So shout out to the Johns from My Music Corner. But yes, today we're going to be doing 1987's Love is for Suckers. And usually unanimously, or the consensus is that this isn't a very good album from Twisted Sister. They went very hair metally at this time, that type of sound, 1987. And now you do have your usual guys here, D. Snyder, Eddie on guitars, you got JJ on guitars, you got Mark on the bass, and then you also have Joey on the drums. But this is interesting though too. The more you look at the credits and such, you see here that there's additional backing vocals and just additional musicians that came in for this album. And you do have Steve Whiteman from Kix, actually, which is very, I didn't know that. And you do have Jimmy from Kix, the drummer, as well. You have Bo Hill and then Kip Winger, too, from Winger, obviously. And you also have Red Beach help playing guitars on this as well from Winger. And bunch of other projects and bands as well. Eventually was in Dawkins for an album or two, give or take. But anyway, but Love is for Suckers, though, I dig this album because I'm not a big Twisted Sister guy. I'm not a fan. I mean, when I was in my teenage years, when I just started finding hair metal, like 2005 ish, I was like, oh yeah, Twisted Sister. Everyone is recommending Twisted Sister. And so I did end up gravitating to a greatest hits, the nasty cuts and stuff like, or one of those ones that recently it has some live tracks at the end. It has like 18 total tracks or 20 total tracks. But anyway, I bought that and I'm like, I don't really care for this. I don't really care for Twisted Sister, and I don't need to hear We're Not Gonna Take It and I Want to Rock ever again in my life. First of all, it's just not that good of songs to begin with. And the amount of times that they just get played to death is crazy to me. But over the years, then, I started hearing a single off of this, which they only did have one single off this album, and it is Hot Love. And I was like, damn, this is actually pretty good. Because I started finding my groove with hair metal and, just power metal, and just like finding what subgenres really fit me. And hair metal was obviously number one. But then, because we're a, my family is a car family as far as like muscle cars, hot rides, and stuff. So like that immediately attracted me. The music video to Hot Love because D. Snyder's in his GTO or Le Mans, and it's like it's a pretty cool video for what it is. I mean, I think when you do a music video, especially in the '80s, just keep it simple, man. Like not necessarily simple, just like you guys playing on stage the whole time, but just like get cars, get bikes, get party atmosphere, like just like good times, cool things together. And it's just, I think it just works and it works for the song too. It's a good song standalone, but I think when you watch it with the video and like them racing and everything like that, I think it just makes it that much better. So let us go to the track listings here. So yes, like I said, this is the fifth studio album, and it's just and the last technically of like true of the original run of the original era of Twisted Sister. D. Snyder ended up going and do like Widowmaker and such for one or two albums, and band just does not like this album. I don't know why. I mean, I kind of guess I know why because you do have like all these people coming in and helping write stuff, and just it's not truly like a straight up Twisted Sister album as far as that goes. Like, because obviously you're bringing in these guys to fill in or to help out and just help write, so it's not truly D and the boys. But I mean, I mean, I gotta say that though too. Like you're bringing in Steve Whiteman from Kicks and like Red Beach and like Jimmy and stuff like that, and like Kicks and Winger, I would take 8 days a week over anything Twisted Sister. So like, I think that's why I kind of like this album more than like anything else I ever heard of Twisted Sister because it has that influence, like that it has that what I prefer anyway. Like I don't know. Nothing ever gravitated me towards the early Twisted Sister stuff. Now it's been years, so I might have to revisit it again. But like I said, let's not do any of the singles. Let's keep that out and let's just go for the deep cuts. But so your first track here, you got "Wake Up, the Sleeping Giant." Really cool. You know, like fist your like pump your fist type song. Pretty cool chorus. D sounds good. Moving on here to the single "Hot Love." Like I said, just a really good song overall. I don't know. A lot of people give it shit, but I'll listen to this song over almost any other Twisted Sister single at this point. I mean, maybe you could argue "You Can't Stop Rock and Roll." I will listen to that, but that's even kind of corny too. But like people say, "Hot Love's" corny, but it's a different kind of corny. I don't know. It is what it is at the end of the day. But good song. I like it. "Love Is for Suckers," the title track. This track here, it feels like Alice Cooper is like has a part in this, like singing "Love Is for Suckers." But then now that I read that Steve Whiteman's here, maybe that's him. I don't know. I don't because I don't see no Alice Cooper anywhere here. I mean, I didn't go over it with a fine tooth comb, but the name Alice isn't just sticking out here. So it might just be Steve. I don't know. Let me know in the comments if you guys think that's Steve or it's Dallas, or let me know. But anyway, I'm so hot for you. This one is pretty cool. I mean, yes, it is kind of cheesy lyrics, nothing groundbreaking at all. But the chorus, there's a groove there, and it's just really catchy because like I listened to that song this morning, and like I'm still kind of like when I was coming home, I was like, okay, yeah, that song's kind of stuck in my head here now. So I do dig that. And then tonight, finish off side one, just okay. That's one of the songs that does get left off the iPod because there is a total of 10 tracks and two of them are not on the iPod. But other than that, though, like I can listen throughout this album. So side one's pretty strong in my opinion, especially when you compare it to the second side. So moving on here to the second side, "Me and the Boys," another one that is not on the iPod, gets cut. Don't really care for it. "One Bad Habit," it can, I can understand why some people don't like it. It could get annoying and such, but it is what it is. I can, when I'm listening to the album, I can withstand it. No issues. "I Want This Night to Last Forever" is the next one. Decent. I mean, it's all right. I can listen to it. It's not hateful. I'd rather listen to these songs than "I Want to Rock" or "We're Not Gonna Take It." So take that for what you will. Moving on here, "You're All That I Need" is like a ballad, decent ballad. I mean, it's not going to make like a top 50 ballad for me, but I can listen to it. I mean, it's not hateful. It's on the iPod. And then the final track here, "Yeah, Right." It's an upbeat song, kind of like not like rapping, but like just D's like going through the chorus stuff. He's like, "Yeah, right," and it's just like naming stuff off, kind of, and just like pretty cool, rapid pace type deal. But I dig it. I mean, I get it because even John on My Music Corner said, in 1987 here, many of other bands were doing this kind of thing. That's what Sister was trying to go for here, more of the hair metal thing, obviously. And I agree with that. And like they didn't want, he said, we didn't want our Twisted Sister to sound like what other bands were doing at the time, which I get that. I get what you're saying because there's in 1987, there's 25 other albums I would rather listen to, or bands even, that I would rather listen to than "Love Is for Suckers." But, for what it is as a standalone album, I can dig it. I can listen to it. Will I listen to it more than like twice a year? No, probably not. But I will listen to "Hot Love" and, like Wake Up the Sleeping Giant. A couple songs here and there I will put on like on a playlist and such. But just to visit the album, probably not. This is probably the first time I listened to it since I actually bought this album in a couple years. So yeah, average out maybe once or twice a year I listen to this, but certainly it certainly has a place though. I don't think it's Twisted Sister's worst work, I would say. It is what it is. Let me know about Widowmaker though, because I don't own anything from D like after Twisted Sister, and I hear different things about Widowmaker. I hear people love it, and I hear people don't really care for it. So, I mean, with already kind of having being not the biggest fan of D and Twisted Sister to begin with, I'm kind of interested to see like, oh, why I actually like that more, like that, because it is a little bit more harder of a style of metal, which I'm cool with. I like that because I think that's one of the downfalls of Twisted Sister for me. I feel like it's kind of like in the realm of Makeup Kiss, kind of very boring and bubblegummy, if you will. I just nothing grabs me, nothing attracts me. I'm like, oh my god, that solo is cool, or that riff's awesome, or that shriek or that yell. Nothing really. I gravitate towards Twisted Sister, but like I said, Love is Sucker's pretty good in my opinion. When I think of Twisted Sister, I just go and grab this album before anything else. I give this album still though a 3 out of 5. Nothing that I want to say, hey, you gotta go out and spend like $15 and get this. No, I'm not gonna say that. But there's some songs on here. Like I said, if you want to check out a couple songs, Wake Up the Sleeping Giant, Hot Love, and then I gotta say, as of right now, I'm So Hot for You. Because that is sticking in my head like the last couple days here, and it's an earworm, definitely. So let me know though, guys, in the comments.
Talk to me.
What do you think of this? This is very like kind of a black and white album for people. Like I hate it or I love it. It's one of those. So shout out to John and my music corner, John and John. But for make me even break this record out again because it's been, like I said, it's been a little while since I listened to it, and it still kind of holds up pretty much the same for me as it did when I first bought it, like 5-6 years ago. And it's just I dig it, guys. I dig it. But like I said, 3 out of 5. That's I can't give it more than that, even though, like I said, there's some standout tracks. But I think the main reason, or one of the main reasons why I really dig this sound in Twisted Sister, or this album, is because I think there's like Bill Hill fingerprints all over this. Winger fingerprints. Bill or Red Beach fingerprints all over it too. In the guitar playing, I think the guitar works a little bit better than anything I heard before from Twisted Sister. I mean, like I said, I'm not no scholar in Twisted Sister, with the early stuff or like earlier stuff. Like it's just everything that I ever heard just never wowed me. And the image was cool for what it was in the early 80s, but then by the time you know, come to mid 80s or so, that kind of look was just, it is what it is. And I don't know, I was never the biggest fan of Twisted Sister's image. It felt very forced. It wasn't a cool looking image, if you will. It was just kind of like, hey, for attention. But you could argue that for Poison and stuff. But I think they made it at least look good to where like you would attract the girls and the bigger mainstream type stuff. Like it was at least decent to look at. Twisted Sister was just like, I don't know what I'm looking at here, really.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought this was the bathroom. Oh, good Lord.
Especially when you compare it, to the later years and such like that. So, but that's my stick, guys. That's what I think of Love is for Suckers. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. And guys, until next time, stay out of that collateral damage. And if you guys enjoyed this video, click this one right here.
Yeah, I wrote that. It's called I Want to Rock Your Body. And then in parentheses it says to the break of dawn.